hippie-ish. Right. If I ever had a podcast or something like that, or when I get one, that's how we'll put it. When I get one, that's what I'm going to call it. Hippie-ish. No, that'd be cool. But again, good morning, everyone. My name is Alicia. For those of you that do not know me, I am a psychic medium. I'm what's to be considered a no-tools medium, meaning I don't need cards or anything like that, but I can and do use them and incorporate them into my readings. What I do mainly is I channel and communicate with the energy of those that have passed, with those that are still here, places, objects, and I channel and communicate with my spirit guides, and I use my third eye. Okay, anything I say could be past, present, or future, because all my readings are timeless. They could deal with you, somebody close to you, maybe somebody you haven't met yet. If my readings resonate with you, yay, I hope they resonate with at least some of you, at one point or another. If not, then the reading is just not for you, or not for you at this time. Okay, I always pray before I get started, so I'm going to go ahead and pray. Dear Lord God, please protect me with your white light of protection always. Please help me to clearly see, hear, feel, and know the messages I'm about to receive and give. My intention is to communicate with spirit, my spirit guides, with angels, with energy, and to do a mediumship reading. Okay. First and foremost, I just have a big blockage. I don't know. I know I'm generally not on here in the mornings. I will still be on tonight. I'm sorry I wasn't on last night. I was exhausted from stress and probably everything I've just been going through as of late. And plus I did some readings yesterday and the day before, and they were very lengthy. From now on, I'm, going to try to keep the individual readings, to an hour, especially, the first one, you know what I mean? And then, like I said, I'll give people a reading, a free reading first off. And, but after that, I'm going to have to charge, this is my livelihood. So, there are instances and cases, where I wouldn't do something like that, wouldn't charge in like certain instances and cases. But for the most part, yeah, if you're wanting readings and things like that, especially the first one, I'm going to try to limit it to an hour. I can't be sitting there for 2.5, 3, 4 hours and not getting any money, you know what I mean? Like, I enjoy helping people, and I know that's my purpose, is to help people, and that's what I'm here to do. But at the same time, I also have to live, just like everybody else. So, so that's all on that. For any of you that have not yet, please go to my YouTube channel. It's at The Healing Hippie, and please subscribe. It's absolutely free. You'll not get anything from me. Yes, please do that. It will help me to be able to go live and get monetized on YouTube. So again, I apologize for it being so early. I was going to come on anyhow. I don't know about this early, but there was an instance of something going on. And I know it looks like I'm like staring off into space, and it's because I am. I'm completely blocked. Not like blocked from seeing anything, but I just feel like I'm in a daze. I'm going to be doing a reading or speaking with, and she's on right now. Her name is Morgan. So just FYI, in case anyone's like, oh, asking who it's for, this and that. Just Yeah, because most time when I come on live, it is generally like for the collective, you know, a general reading, unless I specify, which I am right now. But if parts of it, if during the reading, if any of it does resonate with you, you know, okay, because, you know, people can be alike and have similar situations and things like that. You know, but if not, then just FYI again, people, I'm starting out doing a reading for a woman named Morgan. Morgan, and you can type if you want. Sorry, I have something in my eye. Do you have any questions before I get started? I would ask to bring you on camera, but I don't think you want to right now. But if you don't have questions, I'll just get started. Maybe she can't type. Just listening. Okay. That's fine. I have some cards here. I don't know. I'm feeling okay. All right. And just FYI again, for those of you that don't know, I do channel, so I'll just be sitting here. It's like having a conversation. I'll just be talking. If it looks like I'm staring into space or zoning out, it's because I am. And it's because I'm gathering information of what's either being told to me or shown to me, or what I'm seeing with my third eye, I should say. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and get started. But like I said, right off the rip, I feel there's a lot of confusion. What is going on with this? I don't have any paper. All right. I go through so much paper. A lot of confusion. Like, my head is very foggy. Very much so. No, not yet. What? Oh, you don't have any questions yet. Okay, sorry. But yeah, very foggy, very confused. I'm just going to say this right off the rip, because you need to know this more than anything. If you're afraid and in a dangerous situation, you need to just leave and go somewhere where you would be safe, without even saying anything. You know, I don't know if the person works or not, but if they do, then you need to just go. I wouldn't even pack anything. It's okay. No, you're fine. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you're fine. You don't need to. But so because I mean, there could be situations like that, you know, where someone's not really afraid, you know, or in fear of their life, but very complex situation is what I'm hearing. Why am I hearing? Because I just heard it was like a woman's voice, like, I can't leave, like, why do you feel like you can't leave? You don't have to answer. I'm just letting you know what they're saying. I'm hearing, because that's in regards to, I mean, just like as of right now, you can't do that like right now. I don't know if you're without a vehicle. I heard no vehicle or something. I don't care if you have to go to a neighbor's or something. Just when that person leaves, you need to do something like that. And then call the police from there. You've been with this person a while, is what I'm hearing. What is 5 years? Something is 5 years. I just heard something like this, how long this has been going on. Years. Okay. Yeah, it's okay that the messages are late. You know, I can pause. I can wait. It's no big deal. You've tried to leave before several times. It's like, and what I'm seeing is like almost like you running like outside of a house, like from inside, and you're running out like through the front door and like running, and like grabs you up by the back of your hair, like he was chasing and grabs you by the back of your hair and like pulls you back and like drags you back in. I feel like your heart is like beating like really heavy, if you understand what I mean right now, like almost like there's, and it's weird, it's like this deafening silence, if you understand what I mean, to where you can hear nothing but your heart beating. And it's like, you worried he's going to walk in the room where you're at now? I just heard he always finds me. He always finds me. Like when you've tried to leave before, maybe you have gotten away and maybe he showed up like where you were, or found out where you were made to go back or something. Where's your family? They're not close. No, what? Yeah, you don't want him to walk in. This extremely loud ringing in my right ear. I just moved states away from your family. That's what I said. You're not near them. But moved to South Carolina. My daughter lives in South Carolina. 2 of my daughters. Somerville, Ladson, something like that, near North Charleston and all that. ever heard of it. Is it close to North Charleston or like Somerville, if you've ever heard of them? What's 3 days from now? Tomorrow's the 28th. And then we have, what's on the 2nd? You're close to Edgefield and more so Augusta, Georgia. I used to live in Savannah, Georgia. So, yeah, okay. I know roundabouts where you're at. Oh, you're supposed to get your income tax on the 2nd. Well, if you have a joint account, okay. Am I supposed to not say anything? Oh, okay. Are you married? Joint account. Okay, is it? Okay. I know it's just, okay, I'm kind of apprehensive here. You know, this is kind of a particular situation. Not married. Given the circumstances and situation that you're in, that's why I'm being a little apprehensive, because I'm not sure exactly if that person, you know, happens to watch, you know, Facebook or watches my stuff, or, you know, might come across something or something. Well, March 2nd, if you happen, where's your mother? Up here? No, it's not about offending you. It's about being in the situation that you're in. I mean, it's unsafe. It's abusive. And if you're afraid, and if things happened with what you showed me, I would take the money and go. Like, if you're seriously in that type of situation, I would take the money and go. No person is worth that. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, I got that. Huber. I'm just really worried, and I mean, that's the feeling I get, and that's, I'm just, God, I'm stuttering now. It's like I have this really heavy feeling, like, in my whole entire chest, and I'm nervous and anxious and worried. I'm just going to be honest. If you don't leave, something bad is going to happen. Like, it's going to be more than bruises. You understand what I'm saying? Like, something bad is going to happen. Like, I'm not trying to, be a Debbie Downer or be the bearer of bad news, but you need to get away, period. Who's Michael? Like, literally, like, I'm shaking, like. Who's Michael? Mike or Michael? That's his middle name. Who's Dan? It's his middle name and your son. My son's middle name is... Your son's middle name is Dan? There's a child involved. Dan, not Fan. Okay. It's okay. Your son's middle name is Michael too. Okay, gotcha. Okay, you do not know a Dan. All right. Well, just remember that name just in case. I don't know if there was ever a Dan or Daniel, like, in your family or on his family. That could have been passed, but if not, then just remember that name, Dan. I don't know why, but I want to say Detective Dan. But you just obviously haven't met him yet. I don't know, it could be. No, it wasn't Dennis. I mean, it wasn't like that. It was like a Dan. So it could have been Den. Yeah, I don't... But I heard like Dan, could be Dan, Den, whatever. Who does home health care? Or nursing or something like that? I just heard a neighbor. There's people around you. Your mom does. Do you speak with your neighbors? Do you know any of them? Do you talk to any of them? Who's Jessica? was a friend. Okay, yes, you have neighbors, or yes, you know Jessica. I mean, I need more than 1 or 2 words. Be your stepdad's daughter. We don't talk much. Who's a teenager? Who's 17? What does 17 mean? What's the number 17 mean to you? Yeah, it doesn't have to be an age. It could be a date or something. I'm being told to tell you to remember that, 17. You got pregnant at 17. There you go. Has he ever chased you with a ball bat? Or hit you with it? Because that's what I was just shown. My brother once. Something happened last night. He chased us with the bat. He choked you to where, like, I don't know if like your vocal cords or like something in your throat was like almost ruptured or like severely injured. Last night was normal. All I heard was last night, so that's why I asked. All they said was last night. Or maybe the vocal cord thing. I mean, if that didn't happen, maybe they're telling me to be quiet. Something's telling me to be quiet. He has. Okay. You've been unconscious? weird. It's like everything's coming in like little tiny blips. Choked. Can't, never been unconscious. Who's been knocked unconscious then? Or if it hasn't occurred yet, maybe that's like a forewarning. If you continue to stay, something like that is going to occur. So that's like awareness. I'm hearing coma. I mean, like I told you a little bit ago, like if you don't leave, it's going to get very bad. Not like it's not already, but it's going to get very bad. Period. So I'm just letting you know, like I said, if it's something that hasn't happened yet, it will. I mean, they don't say things or tell me things for no reason. Okay. Very dizzy. Like I'm very lightheaded. What do you want Morgan Lewis to know? Spirit, what do you want Morgan Lewis to know? I need to get my other cards. Well, maybe nothing. Man. Sorry. Two of Swords. Has to do with like difficult decisions, like having to make, being indecisive. Judgment card. I don't know why I am being told to ask if there's a gun in the house. Very, it's weird. It's like, I just have this ringing in my ear. Like over here. And like back here is starting to hurt. Like the top of my head back here is starting to hurt. Almost like somebody being hit like right here. And then it's like where you kind of go deaf, you know, like in one ear, like if you've been hit. I don't know, and I for some, they're showing me like blood dripping out of an ear, like somebody's ear was injured. has to do with searching for the truth, inner guidance, looking within, the Hermit card. Yeah, I was kind of in a daze there. I apologize. Give me just a second. Hold on. This is just like, it's so heavy. Like, the energy is so heavy. It's ridiculous. Like, it's like I can't think. I can't concentrate. I can't, nothing. It's weird. I mean, they just keep showing me like scenes of I would assume things happening. I'm not going to keep going into detail because it's bothering me. And, I mean, but there's a reason that's the only reason as to why that they keep showing me things like that and talking about what's currently going on, apparently, in your life. You need to make a decision. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and then just preach about like what's going on, you know what I mean? And you not do anything about it. I know it's hard, and especially when you've got kids, and if you've been with somebody for a while and you love them, but I mean that's not love, you know, when somebody's treating you poorly and badly and very abusive. I mean, and if honestly, like if you're seriously afraid, I mean, that's what I would do. I would just, once you get your money, I would just take the money and go. Otherwise, and I mean, that's all I'm going to say right now, like, in regards to that, like, it's just going to end up bad. That's all I'm going to say. And I don't like saying things like that, but it's not going to be good. And I'm not just saying that. I'm letting you know, like, because the next time could be like the last time, if you understand what I'm saying. Where you could get severely, severely hurt. I'm starting to get heartburn. Crazy. All right, Spirit guys, come on, switch gears, please. 'Cause yeah, I mean, that's tough. I mean, that's tough for me to hear and see anyhow, and like, especially to keep channeling about it. You know, with me being in that situation myself on and off for 10 years, you know, that's just not, and I know what it's like, you know, you leave and they find you, or, you know, you separate for a little while and then you get back, and then, you know, they're different, they're nice, they're good, and things are good and okay for a little while, and then something happens or something snaps, and then they're right back to the same old shit. And, I imagine everything's probably your fault, you know what I mean? Like, you made him do it, or, you know, because that's how it was with me. It was always my fault, you know? It's like, I made him hit me. Like, I made you hit me. Okay, you know? And at least the guy with me, it was always because I had a smart-ass mouth. Well, after 2 years, because for the first 2 years of me being in that relationship, I did nothing, like nothing. And then after that, something happened one of the times where he had punched me in the face, and of course I fell back and was about knocked out. I think that's when he broke my nose, you know, and I was seeing them little white squiggly things, and, you know, it was like, because he hit me so hard, and it was just like, everything was like, whoa, 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 like that kind of, and it was just, and I don't know what it was, because it all happened so quickly. It's like, he hit me, I fell back, like I heard that noise, you know, I saw the little squiggly things, and something, it was like something pushed me up. It was weird, and pushed me up, and it's like I was up off the ground, and I went running towards him, and I just ran and punched him as hard as I could, like in his face, and I got him right in his nose, whatever, and he was hollering, and there's blood everywhere, and I remember he was just, you broke my nose, you broke my nose. And of course me, I was like, how the fuck's it feel? And I called him the P-U-S-S-Y word. And I said, you effing, you know what I mean? I said, yeah. I said, cry, bitch, cry. And it's not funny, but I mean, that's like a nervous laugh. But that's what he used to do to me. He would hit me, you know, and I'd cry because it hurt. And then I'd get called a pussy or like a bitch or, you know, and you know, a baby and, you know, and then I wasn't allowed to cry. So then you'd get hit again. And it's like, oh my fucking God, you know, it fucking hurts. That's why I'm crying, you know, and it's like, Jesus, stop hitting me and I won't have a reason to cry, you know, damn. And, but yeah, I remember that. I clearly, that was the first time like I ever did anything back. And after that though, it was all bad after that. Like, because after that day, like anytime you hit me after that, then I mean, I was hitting them back and I was trying as much as I could. And so that went on for another 8 years, you know what I mean? And it was crazy. It was like literally fighting to the death and fighting for my life, like every single time that something would happen, because I would think, you know, one of these times he's going to hit me just in the right spot and instantly kill me. And you know, because you can hit somebody just one time, just, you know, in a certain spot and they could be dead, you know. And I've been unconscious many of times, and he about killed me 3 times. He about beat me to death. The last time I've been thrown from like a moving vehicle truck, his truck, you know, he had me like held captive literally, face down, like in the floorboard of his truck after he done beat my butt, beat my ass, doesn't matter. And so I had my face down, you know, in the floorboard as he's driving, did that with me, had me by the back of my head to where I couldn't hardly get up. And he drove around with me, I bet you, for almost 3 hours, and had taken the keys to my car. So, I mean, obviously, you know, but he had beat me up, threw me in his truck, and then drove around with me for X amount of time. And then, you know, I didn't know where we were because I'm face down and I couldn't breathe. He wouldn't give me my inhaler, you know, and here I am, all beat to shit. And then all of a sudden, I hear a vehicle. I mean, because the boyfriend at the time, he goes to, you know, the truck is stopping, or like at a stop sign or something. I'm like, okay, because I know for the longest time, I think we were out in the country, pretty sure, because, you know, he was just driving and driving and driving, and if we're in town, he wouldn't have been just driving like that. So anyhow, I hear a vehicle, and I'm like, oh my God, and I'm thinking, what the fuck, you know. And I couldn't hardly scream because he had ruptured also, like, my vocal cords, and I was trying my best to like scream, and I couldn't, like, hardly anything would come out. But somehow I ended up rearing up, like, even with him a hold of the back of my head, and he's trying to drive. I did it right before he went to take off because I heard that car and I tried to scream and I couldn't. So then I somehow twisted up and around back, because there's a window back there for the truck, and I just started kicking as hard as I could, and I kicked out the back window, and then, of course, he got me, and he's trying to keep me down because then the people behind saw, because they were in a truck, I think. And so, but then he sped off, and I don't know how fast he was going, but he went, and he ended up over by my mom's house and ended up throwing me out of the truck as he was driving. I mean, probably every bit of 45, maybe 45 miles an hour, but still threw me out. I landed in the middle of the road and ended up rolling up in the grass or something, and that was crazy. That was crazy. I'm sorry to tell that story. It's just, I don't know why they made me tell that story. I've been through a lot of shit, so I mean, I can sympathize, I empathize. I mean, I've been there and done it, and it's the hardest thing in the world to try to leave. And everyone would always ask me, you know, why I stayed and stayed for so long or kept going back. And at least at that time, the only reason I know that I did was because I had one daughter at the time, and I was trying to keep my family together, you know. That was my thought process. I grew up in a broken home. I didn't know my dad hardly. I met him maybe 5 times before he passed away. He passed away when I was 19, and I had just gotten with this guy when I turned 19, and he was older than me. He was 7 or 8 years older than me, and I wanted more than anything, you know, because I always said, you know, oh, when I grow up, you know, and I have kids, I'm going to, you know, make sure that, you know, I'm married and we're together, and, you know, she's not going to have a broken home, or they're not going to have a broken home, and, you know, and I'm going to make sure that I stay with the person, you know, that I have my kids with, and, you know, to have a family, and da-da-da-da-da, and that's all that was in my head. I was hell-bent on not failing, put it that way, because in my eyes, for some reason, not that my mom was a failure, but I looked at it as she had failed in relationships, you know what I mean? And, you know, was divorced with my biological father before I was even 6 months old, you know? And so I was still a baby, but, you know, and then he wasn't in our life, and it's like, you know, and she wasn't hardly home, and, you know, just did her own thing between our stepdad, and then, you know, they got divorced, and then boyfriends here and there, and then, you know, out drinking or doing whatever. And so, you know, I get with this person, and I'm thinking, oh, you know, it's going to be great. He's older, he knows, you know, and I thought it was going to be okay, you know, and I didn't have a whole lot of direction, you know, I will say that, growing up. And everyone is always like, oh yeah, your mom was always good to you guys, and you guys always had everything that you ever wanted. Okay, yeah, we had stuff, you know. I mean, that doesn't make up for the fact that there was lack of parenting, you know, lack of love, you know, lack of, there, like, no hugs, kisses, things like that, you know, that she just wasn't that way. I wasn't taught a lot of things, you know, about, I'll say, even like my period, you know, I wasn't told about that. I was very naive and gullible when it came to relationships and guys, men, whatever, because I wasn't informed about how men were, or guys would be, or how they could be, or maybe just using you for certain things and stuff like that, because I was sexually molested when I was a child too. So, like, my whole concept of, like, love and family and all that was very distorted from a young age on. And so, I mean, and essentially, I mean, that's kind of, I ended up using that as a way and means, because I thought that was a way to, that was the way you were supposed to get the guy, you know, get him to love you, because that's how you show somebody that you love them, and all that is by doing things for them. And, you know, and then here's this guy, and he's older, and I'm thinking, well, he knows, and okay, and, you know, you do that, and he says he loves you, you know, but then he starts treating you badly, first with names, and then it progresses into other things. And it's just like, I think once all of that started happening, it was more, I felt like a failure then, you know what I mean? And I wasn't even married to the guy yet, but it's like, I felt like a failure, like, even to myself, because here I used to be this very outgoing, confident, at least it seemed like it, type person, you know. I had all these friends, I was popular and all that, and now here I am being sheltered and being forced to be in a place far away from other people, you know. I wasn't really allowed to have friends after a while. You know, I did have him and then wasn't allowed to be around him without him, and then not at all after a while. And then it got to the point where I couldn't even be around my family, and unless it was like a function, you know, and he was going to be able to go with me, you know. A lot of times he would take my keys, because he worked out of town, and he would take my keys to where I couldn't leave to go anywhere the whole time he was gone. He would take my ID at times, and most of the time I didn't hardly like have anything, you know, no extra money, no nothing. And when I did work, I would have to give my whole check to him, you know, and half the time I would live off like $10 or $20 for a whole week. It was crazy. We hardly ever had any food, you know, or anything, because when he would come home, then it would be time to do drugs. And so then from the whole time he was home, we would be getting high. And of course, you know, I'm getting high at that point again, and it's because I couldn't deal with anything. I couldn't cope with anything, and I just, that was all I had at that time, you know. And I was too embarrassed, I think, to like say anything to my mom, or anybody for that fact, you know. I guess I was ashamed, you know, of being in this position, and so then, you know, I have this baby and I'm in this position, and I'm, you know, and I just didn't want to fail. That's what it was. And I didn't want to fail. You know, I'd always like excelled and progressed at like everything I did. And so it's like, okay, the one thing that I was hell-bent on ensuring that I was going to do right, and it was going to work out, and almost like it was going to be like a one-up on her, you know what I mean? Like, see, I did it and you didn't. You know, that's the feelings I was having at that time. Obviously, that was resentment, you know, and I won't get into all that right now, you know, but so that's why I stayed, you know, at first. And then after a while, you know, after years and years of it, it becomes the norm, you know. You get very isolated, and I was away from everybody, and you become brainwashed, and it's just like a normal thing. And then, like I said, I was fighting back, and then you just like, so you knew what to expect, you know. I knew what to expect, or when it was going to happen, and about how things would happen. So then I learned to be a lot more careful about like certain things that I would say, and how I would say things, or how I would go about things. I learned definitely never to wake him up, you know, because that's when a lot of fights would happen also. If I happened to wake him up, he would wake directly up, grab me up by my throat, and then, you know, start having at me. And he's passed away now. So he passed away 2 years ago. I don't know if this whole thing was just for me to share more information with you about me, or what. Because they just keep saying somebody needs to hear this, somebody needs to hear this. Like, I mean, if I was somewhere close to you, I would just, I would just pick you up and be like, you know, we're leaving, we're going, you know what I mean? If you were allowed. I don't know your situation like that. I'm hearing that's kind of iffy. My heart hurts, you know, my heart goes out to you, and I completely understand, you know. It's hard, especially when you love someone, you know, and you've been together a while, but I mean, it's not love, and I think I understand, yeah, and I think you know that, but You've got to do something, or you're not going to be here anymore. I'm not being a Debbie Downer. I'm being serious, you know. It will eventually escalate to that point. I don't know if you know how to, like, push his buttons, because that's what they're saying, pushing buttons. Like, you know, and I don't know if he's got a short fuse, too, because they just said short fuse, and, like, flies off the handle kind of quickly at times. Here's Brian. Okay, the angels are telling us 1818, optimism, okay? Successful manifestation of your abundance is near. Higher levels of optimism are needed as new abundant beginnings are on the horizon. Brighter days always come after the darkest of nights. Affirmation: everything is in perfect order as I enter into the next chapter of my journey and connect to the abundance that is near. Two days is your day. The second. What else do you want to tell her? Don't be afraid, is what I just heard. Brian would be your mom's ex-husband. Okay. Of course, 1111. 1111, use your intuition. Trust in yourself. Your inner whisper is working hard to let you know that it is guiding you. Listen in. What is it saying? Feel it. Where is it telling you to go next? See it. Close your eyes and allow. Trust the path that you are on. My intuition speaks to me and I listen. I trust that all things are happening for a purpose, for a reason. What is this? Whispers. No, willpower. Sorry, I can't read it. 1616, willpower. Yes. Things may feel out of sync and not within your control. The whisper of the divine is asking that you remember that you are being supported and that your will is your superpower. Determination is key right now. It says, I call on my strength and willpower to take the lead. I accept and listen to the support of the divine within me. All I'm saying is listen to what I say, you know, whether it be me talking about situations that I've been in, it's because somebody is either going through that or has been through that, you know, and that's the reason as to why they have me share my things also, especially, I would say, in situations like this where someone could possibly walk in the room and it's like, okay, well, she's talking about herself, you know what I mean? So, all right, let's see what our healing spirits want to say. I'm gonna, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know why they just did that. The first step is taken. You have asked for help. Oh my God. That's crazy. See? Well, I will help in any way that I can. So whatever you need from me, just let me know. You have a new friend. Okay? If I ever get to the page. You know? Oh, and I get my tooth today, people. Oh, and for some reason I have another dentist appointment also next Wednesday. I don't know why. Anyhow, the first step is taken. You have asked for help. So many people don't know how to ask for help or have never even considered asking healing spirits for assistance when they are feeling low. but it is the easiest thing to do. Simply say, "Please, Spirit or angels, will you help me?" Spirit healers and helpers will soon be in your energy and working to lift you up again. Take a moment each day to feel their healing energy in your life and allow yourself to be balanced and regenerated by their healing balm. It is also important that you learn to give thanks when you do this practice. If you ask from the heart, it shall be given. Like they say, ask and you shall receive. And we'll make sure, I will pray for you and your family and everybody out there too that watches this or gets this, pray for her and her family and her safety, and that she gets someplace safe soon. True love can never really be lost. Now, in regards to this, even given the situation, I understand, that you love the person, it's love, but somebody doing that to somebody else isn't really love. It's almost like Stockholm syndrome, it's like what we end up getting, you fall in love like with your captor or fall in love with your abuser or whatever, and they're talking about a past love, like somebody that you think about quite often. That's all I'll say. Anyhow, to love another is a wonderful thing. To be loved in return is the highest state the human being can achieve. The ascended masters in the higher realms of the spirit world have known love beyond the human condition and remind us that love in the human form may be perceived as incredible bliss when you experience it or deep sorrow when you feel its absence. But when it has truly touched your life, it is forever, and neither time nor death can destroy it. Authentic love lives forever in your heart, not your head. And that is why it hurts when you fix your thoughts on a love that is lost, or otherwise, it's best to feel it in your heart, where it can truly be understood and experienced. Remember, the head was made to think, the heart was made to feel. My knee hurts. I just don't want this to end up fatal, you know what I mean? Oh my gosh, there's a whole face right there. I was, and he was, the guy I was with was one of those people, like, even when we would break up, it's like he didn't want me, but he didn't want anybody else to have me either, and it's like he was going to ensure that I wouldn't be with anybody else. I mean, it took, that last time in 2009, I mean, yeah, he about beat me to death, and I said that yesterday or whenever that was, but I had to get a civil protection order against the man with me and my kids. I mean, that's what it had come to. So, and even at that time, I wasn't going to do it, and the state knew that. The state ended up doing it. They're like, forget this. I mean, because there had been just too many times prior, and that's what they told you. I'm surprised you're not dead now, from what just happened, but that's what they said. You're going to end up dead. And I probably would have if they wouldn't have done that, so I was basically forced into that, but it saved my life. So in that aspect, this was face up for some reason, and I didn't even pull it out, and I don't even know how it came out, but oh well. When it feels right, do it. So, and like I said a little bit ago, trust your intuition, you know what I mean? Isn't that weird how my voice just changed? It was different a second ago, and now, yeah, I noticed that. It's because I'm channeling different things, different energies. So like different energies that may channel through me, that's why my voice may change from time to time. Sometimes my face changes too. And if if you guys ever notice, like watch the videos. That's why I don't look directly at the camera. It kind of makes me quite insecure. That and my front tooth missing, which it fell out. I mean, it was supposed to be a permanent implant, but it fell out. Well, it was pushed out. I'll say that. But yeah, trust your intuition. And, you know, I'm not telling you things for no reason. It's not just to say, and you know that. So I told you what to do. I feel you need to do it. I feel in my gut that that's what you need to do. Start making a game plan now, in my opinion. But that's all I can do is give my opinion and my advice. So. But you still love him, yeah? The ex. It says so many people... Oh, wait. Yeah. So many people overthink their life, and in doing so, miss much of what could bring them joy and adventure. The wise old spirit sages may have sat and meditated in their lives, but whenever they were moved to act, they did so without hesitation, because they felt it more than thought it. They trusted their inner selves. When your inner self is shouting at you to act, don't sit back. Your instinct is telling you that it is time to take your life to a whole new level now. So believe in what you're doing and remember to enjoy it too. I mean, you want to actually be able to experience life. You understand what I mean? You can't do that if you're stuck and stagnant in a situation like that. And it's not good. It's not healthy for you, for the kids, for anybody, you know, and you know that. But what I'm going to do, and I hate to cut it short, but they're just going to keep focusing on it. It's like, and they just said it's like beating a dead horse. I will pray for you, and I will pray for your family. They're not going to give me much more until they're saying until you do what needs to be done, like period. So let me know what happens on the 2nd. Okay? And, no, for real, I will pray. If you need anything, let me know. But per reading wise, they're saying this is what you need to hear. This is what you need to know right now. And until you do what you're supposed to do, they're basically saying they're not going to allow me to offer up any information on anything else until you do the right thing. Okay? So, you're welcome. Yeah, if you need anything later, let me know. If anything happens, let me know. I will do what I need to. You can give me your information. I'll give you mine through Messenger, okay? Not on here. And that's cool. So yes, and I will definitely, yeah, we will keep in contact. So yeah, I'll just talk to you in a little bit. And so we'll get off the live, okay? So bye. Peace, love, and light. Bye.